Hi everyone worldwide. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down a road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow? And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, well, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a car you lack, I'd surely buy you a Cadillac. Whatever you need, any time of the day or night. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow? And when we both get older, with walking canes and hair of gray, have no fear, even though it's hard to hear, I will stand real close and say thank you for being a friend. I wanna 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 thank you. Let me tell you about a friend. I wanna thank you for being a friend. I wanna thank you for being a friend. I wanna thank you for being a friend.
Little Andrew Gold to start us off today on Thursday, January the 11th, 2023 from here in Oregon. You know, the song only made to 25 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 chart back in 1978. Cashbox did better, went to number 11 for 2 weeks. The song really didn't catch big numbers until it went on to television, to be honest with you. Yeah. Highest recorded number was number 5, the adult contemporary chart in Canada for Andrew Gold's Thank You for Being a Friend. Of course, I'm playing that for all of you because you have been incredible friends.
Thank you for being a...
Indeed, indeed. What do you say we wind the thing together and figure out how it all works? And we'll start the show with an away we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you guys. Happy Thursday. I had to get back here before we left for Hawaii. And it's an interesting story, to say the least, when it comes down to this trip.
And now, a Larry moment.
So we rarely get bad weather here in this part of Oregon. Usually the Pacific Ocean's close enough to us, right, that it doesn't cause freezing stuff like snow and ice and freezing rain, all that stuff to fall. It doesn't usually happen. In fact, we're so behind the times that we use gravel, no kidding, on the roads to help break up the snow or ice so people can get better traction. That's no kidding. And the only places they use salt at all are on a few roads that go kind of windy up in the Portland West Hills. Otherwise, you have this little pea gravel that people run over for the next 2 weeks and crack your windshield. Yeah. Pretty much true. It's exactly true. So anyway, this weekend, no joke, they're looking for a big winter storm. It went from huge winter storm to maybe a big winter storm to, okay, this might be pretty bad. And Karen's like, oh no, what do we do? This is really serious. And we look at everything, and they were talking everything from 6 inches of snow over Friday night and Saturday. By the way, our flight leaves Saturday morning at 10:25 a.m. Perfect. And I'm worried the airport's going to be closed, flight's going to be postponed at best, canceled at worst. And we're here and thinking, oh no, what do we do, right? And so what happens is interesting, is that the models kind of finally came together. We were this close to spending an extra $325 that we just did not have. Thank you, a little late there. But anyway, to book a flight that's 4 hours earlier, get us to Honolulu about 5 hours sooner, but still it was an extra $325 on top of the hotel that we have to have up there so that my wife doesn't have a conniption fit trying to drive from this area, which by the way would be reasonable because they're talking about maybe a half inch of ice where we live here. So the hex beam is down. And interesting little factoid about this, I'll show you real quick. The hex beam is only about 8 feet off the ground right now. And let me show you real quick where we're at. Sorry for the bad lighting. It's pretty bad there. So look at this. This is 17 meters from where we're at right now. 17's just brilliant, picking up things and all that. And there's 20 and here's 10 and, just puttering right along there at just about 7 feet, 8 feet off the ground with the buddy hex today. So that's kind of the way it is today. Let's get welcomes and get into the show today. I do have some good stuff for you. I hope you do enjoy the show, okay? I got a great letter from someone who watches the channel. Bill in Wisconsin. And my gosh, Bill, thank you for the beautiful Christmas card. It's totally a surprise. We check our mail about every 6 or 7 weeks or so. Really? Anyway, Bill, thanks to Kelly, to you and the card and everything. And he added an extra $20 in the card as well for Hawaii. Man, thank you very much, Bill. Seriously, that's great. Jeez. Thank you, man. That's so kind of you. I mean that. Thank you to you and Kelly for that. And also, thank you to all of you for all you did to give to help make this trip possible. I was telling my wife last night, we were debating if we were going to get that flight earlier and pay the money or hold on to what we had and just live by faith. And I said, look, this is a miraculous trip because we couldn't afford it. I had to sell one radio, and then people around the world cared enough to give. That's a miraculous thing to me. It really is. I don't lose sight of that. If that didn't happen, we wouldn't be going on Saturday to Hawaii to get Bob to the Arizona Memorial. So thank you for what you did. Sincerely, I mean that. Folks, we'd like to help you in amateur radio. And I know some people get a little bristly at this part. But when I get things from viewers that watch this channel and said, I watched you and Dave Kastler, or I watched you and let's say, for example, might be the Smokin' Ape, right? Or it could be, anybody that's on YouTube. And you gave me the inspiration to get a higher license. I felt I could do it. And then they did it. Well, I don't hear about these stories so often, but I got one from a wonderful friend yesterday, Bill in Wisconsin. I had no idea I helped him get his general and his extra. So if you'd like to get an amateur radio, this is the greatest thing in the world. I'll tell you, I love radio. I have since I've been a kid. You meet people around the world. You have a chance to accomplish great things. You can win contests. You can, just use it locally if you want to. You can contact people in other continents. It's fantastic. The hard part is finding a local amateur radio club too. And this is why this is so important. Because you're going to have somebody that's going to be able to administer you the test, at least here in the States, right? So that club, most likely, if they don't administer tests, they know another club that will. Right? So that's why I give you this for the American Radio Relay League. It's not just to throw shade or anything on the Wireless Institute of Australia or RSGB. Great clubs, great organizations worldwide. One of them is the American Radio Relay League. They can help you find that local club you need to help take that test and help you get on the air. That's why we talk about this. Reach out to them, www.arrl.org. Hit the contact us bar, let them know you'd like your license and where you live, and they'll send back to you a close to you amateur radio club anywhere in the world where you're watching this show. I want to thank you for coming today. I'm truly very inspired and very grateful to have a little bit of time to share with you today. You can email me if you'd want to talk about certain things and stuff and all that stuff at info@hamradiolive.org. And also want to share this with you. You can connect with me on Facebook. The words ham radio are one word and then live after a space. Okay. So ham radio is one word, then space live, right? And follow the trip. We'll be showing the videos and photos and stuff of the trip with Bob to Hawaii. And I hope you enjoy that because you guys help make that happen, right? So because my family is on Facebook, that's why I'm putting it there instead of Discord, because that way they can watch it too, because they're really excited for Bob and having this opportunity. So please feel free and connect with me on Facebook at Ham Radio Live, right? We have a topic question for today, and I'm excited for this one. It's all about getting something done, something special, right? What's one of the best QSOs you've made in amateur radio, or maybe you're a shortwave DXer, right? What's one of the best DX receptions you've ever made? Maybe it's something, for example, for shortwave, this could be something like a BBC broadcast sent towards Asia, but picked up in Florida, okay, or picked up in Illinois or someplace Midwest. That's a good reception, right? Because you're hearing it off the back of the beam. What's the best you've made? One of the best you've ever made? Talk about it in the comment section, and we'll add it to today's conversation on the show. I also host a show on WRMI shortwave called Over the Horizon Radio. It's powered by Icom. We transmit worldwide, all over the world, this show, and we'd love to be able to send you some EQSL cards. There are 4 EQSL cards in total. Here's the first one, for example, for Europe. Here's the second one if you're in Europe. Third one, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Get this one. That's the transmitter for Europe. And this one here is the fourth one, and that's the exact tower array that sends the show out towards Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Here are the times and frequencies worldwide for Over the Horizon Radio. Please listen. And, we've had some people who've picked up the European broadcast in the central part of the United States. So if you want to catch it at 12 UTC, I know it might be a little early for some folks, 15770, and the signal is hearable. So try and see if you can pick it up. Also, in North America, the 9395 kilohertz is a monster signal. And this weekend is going to be some of the best, seriously, the best conditions we've had in a decade in amateur radio. I'll talk about that. I have the weather coming up. 9395, you can hear it all the way into the Azores, just off the African coast. That'd be the northwest African coast. And you can hear it all the way into New Zealand there on 9395 kilohertz. So just please take a listen, and we'll be happy to send you an EQSL card from WRMI and the Over the Horizon Radio show. Also, I do CQ calling for the Love of Ham Radio folks at Icom. I'm grateful and honored to have them as a sponsor. That's honest truth. Let me get a little drink here. Icom is very, very kind to me to trust me with something so special as a shortwave show and a music show on shortwave. So the CQ calling show is about amateur radio. Here are the times and frequencies. The show's always on Thursdays. So Thursdays, you get CQ calling. Fridays and Saturdays, you get Over the Horizon Radio, and everybody has a good time, right? First one today, get to the show, would be Steve from the UK. Steve, I think that's the second time in a row. I might be wrong. Mike 1 Sierra Delta Hotel, give that man a big beep beep. Hi, Steve. Welcome. Good evening to you all the way there in the UK. Good to see you, my friend. Second up, Lionel, my dear friend, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Foxtrot Hotel. Give him a cha-ching and some claps. There we go. Good to see you, Lionel. Happy Thursday. Nice to have you. This is really something, for me, I'm very honored because Tom is a dear friend. Tom, I think you're still in Bulgaria, right? I don't think you're back in Bahrain yet, but he's watching all the way from either Eastern Europe or the Middle East. It's a long ways away. His U.S. call sign is Alpha Echo 1 Tango Papa. His Bahrain call sign is Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey. That is Tom, all the way in Bulgaria or Bahrain, one of those places. Tom, welcome. Thank you for being a great friend too, buddy. I mean that, Tom. Thank you. And for staying up late too. My goodness, that's going the extra mile. Cliff Bolts from Virginia is here. Hi, Cliff. Whiskey Delta 4 Oscar Bravo Papa. Thanks for joining us today. It's good to see you. My dear friend Mike, are you back in Florida now? Mike's call sign, Kilo Golf 2 Mike. He's a retired, you're never a former. He is a retired NYPD police officer, an amazing man too. Mike, welcome. Yep. Mike's a good guy. Lots of parks on the air stuff. Tom, okay, so here we are. He's in Bulgaria, minus 5 degrees Celsius there. Not good. Germany has joined the show. Hi, Andre, Delta Lima 4, Quebec, Bravo. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Nice to see you, Andre. Wow. Wow, this is so cool. Ron Walensky, Arlington, Washington, November 8, Whiskey Charlie Romeo. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Look at this. Good day, all. It's Colin in VK. Let's give him a big applause. It's early your way, mate. Thanks for joining us on a summer morning in Australia. Wow, man. Love Australia. That's one of my bucket list places to go see. It is. Sydney is so pretty, and Melbourne and so many places in Australia is so beautiful. Gosh, Colin, you live in a beautiful place. You really do. We watch a lot of YouTube stuff from Australia. Scotter Dog, hola, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for joining the show today. Sam Weaver from the state of Alabama joins us as well. Sam, thank you very much for being here. It's an honor to have you today. Kilo Mike 4, Echo, Echo, Oscar. Always good to see you. Thanks for coming. Ron says Oregon's supposed to get it more than up here in Washington. Yeah, it's just weird. It was supposed to hit, they said yesterday it'd be right dead center on the Portland airport. Brilliant. Not what you want to hear when they're saying 4 or 5 inches of snow overnight. And then Saturday morning, it'll continue to snow really hard. And it might be 6 to 10 inches on the ground by the time everything is all done. And you're like, oh no. They're definitely going to cancel this flight. And you start thinking of the money. Oh, no. Sean, welcome from the UK to Echo Zero, X-Ray, Bravo, Tango. It's good to see you. Happy New Year to you, too, and thanks for joining the show, mate. Thanks, Sean. Oh, it's good to see you, man. It really is. Mean that. Wow. This is just really cool to say hello to all you guys today. Let's see, Colin, he says, good day, late or earlier way, 8:45 a.m. on Friday. We'll take it. Thank you very much.
Status bell.
Enjoy yourself.
Take your shoes off.
Yep. Sit around.
Welcome back now. Here.
We love you being here, Colin. Thanks, buddy. That's pretty sweet. Yeah. And Sean, look at this. He's still volunteering for the RSGB. Good group. Nice people here. Really is. They're very good people. Hi, Bill. Welcome. Alpha Bravo 9. Quebec uniform. Bill, it's nice to meet you. I think you're a first timer, I think. But my mind is broken. So if you're not, forgive me. My name is Larry Dio. Welcome to Ham Radio Live, man. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Happy Thursday to you. That's good. Colin says Wireless Institute of Australia was formed in 1910, is the first and oldest national amateur radio society in the world. He is 100% correct on that. Yep, he is. Yeah, that's the oldest one. They beat out the RSGB by a couple of years. No kidding. Those guys are so smart, and they're really good at what they do, too, which is great. Oh, here's a good friend. He hasn't been here a while. My gosh, it's great to see you. 45 unit. Welcome back, mate. Good to see you. Happy New Year to you, too. Oh, this is awesome. Glad we came. Duke of Rudtown. Today's topic question. Now, Duke is from Ontario, Canada. He says, this question unfortunately does not apply to me, but if I was licensed, I imagine the best one yet would be very far away. That's good enough. Thank you, sir. Yeah. You can do it with a shortwave radio, or, another thing you do, a lot of people use web SDRs. One thing I found with the Over the Horizon radio show is people send me EQSL card requests when they listen on a web SDR. Do you think that's appropriate to get an EQSL card for something you could do over the internet, sitting there and just doodling until you find the radio that's going to pick it up? Like, oh, well, hold on a second here. This one in Iceland ain't working. Let's try the one here in England. Nope, England's not going either. Maybe up in Norway. Oh, there it is. I got it. Let's go. EQSL card, please. It's too easy. And shortwave radios, this is not supposed to be a rant, but shortwave radios aren't that expensive. You can buy a really good shortwave radio for under $100, at least a good one that with a long enough wire antenna will hear a long ways away, right? So, yeah, that's my rant over. Bill, that's the gentleman who we told the story about. Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike. Bill, thank you very, very much for the kind Christmas card and for the $20. Man, oh man, thank you. We appreciate that very much. Thanks for everything. You and Kelly, and for your kind email. That meant a lot for me to read this morning. Thank you. Yeah, I mean that. Nice to receive nice emails from people. I mean that very, very much. To me, it's good. Sam, just sent you a Facebook friend request. Well, doggone it, we'll accept it and send it your way, sir. And Mike is safely back in Florida. That's a good thing. Mike, I'm glad you're home safe. And my best to your family. I know it's always got to be hard to leave, really, but always nice to come back to warmer Florida from New York State. Tom said most memorable Radio Canada International. And they were famous. For people who are young, who don't remember the golden age of shortwave, which really was about the 50s until about the late 80s, early mid-90s maybe. Radio Canada International was really a great shortwave broadcaster. They were really not like slanted with propaganda, okay? They tend to be honest and neutral. They were very good. They had great programming too, from music to stories about their land. They are missed so much today. And if you want to see something on YouTube that's very sad, they have their final sign-off on Radio Canada International from inside the studio. It's just hard to watch because they're seeing all that history slip away. So, wow. Tom says Radio Canada International by the fire while camping on the beach, 0230 on the Red Sea. Wow, that's great. 1994. By the way, he's in Bulgaria now at the moment. That's very good, right? No, you're in Romania, aren't you? Oh, hold on. Darn it. Because Larry's prefix numbers are very bad right now. And that's just the truth. Oh, great. And I get to sign up again into QRZ. Isn't this just brilliant? And they're going to send me this stupid code again. Oh, boy. No, they won't. That's good. So let's just, because Larry's mind is not the greatest, let's enter a fake call sign. LZ1ABC. There we go. LZ. That would be Bulgaria. Yes. Okay. I don't know. You know what? It hurts people in some place of the world when they see a prefix they don't know because it's far away and they don't get many calls from them. Like, for example, you always know one that starts with R, for example, right? It's Russia. Or you get one that might be from Canada, Victor Echo, right? Or Australia, Victor Kilo. But I get lost on some of the ones from Europe. Sorry, Tom. I'm glad you're here. This is really nice. Thank you for coming and thank you for everything you did to help my family get to Hawaii. Seriously, thank you. Him and Huda, his wife, really did something special for us. Colin says from Australia, not ham radio, but I have a limited coast marine rescue station in my home and hearing Melbourne on VHF Marine Simplex channel 16. So channel 16, only using verticals is pretty cool. That's 450 miles or 730 kilometers. That's big applause. That's a definition of tropospheric ducting, exactly what it is. You've got a temperature inversion, and all of a sudden VHF, which is, 144 megahertz, could be 125, whatever. By the way, I got the band plan so I can help answer the questions about 2 meters from last show. I feel like a moron because I didn't know it. Been a while. But that's a great accomplishment. To do that on VHF, 450 miles, I bet you were thrilled when you heard where it was, right? Because it's like, oh my gosh, this is a long ways away. This is a special moment, right? Kind of like Chris in the UK when he heard U.S. police and fire coming from the States all the way in Great Britain on VHF. It's fantastic. When Trough Duck works, it's a magical thing. So Colin, thank you for your comment. Nice comment. Yeah. Lionel, my best contact was an FT8 from, this is interesting, Eastern New York State to Victor Kilo 5 Papa Oscar in Southern Australia, 17 meters. My radio was at 10 watts, and I got to him and back on a 40-foot infant half-wave strung up around around his apartment. His station was doing all the work. Cha-ching and applause. Wow. But you got it. Yeah, I agree. There's one antenna that's got to be there and it's got to be set. You stronger, right? Good receive. But you still had to make it from your end. And Lionel, that's an amazing accomplishment from New York State all the way to Southern Australia with a wire strung around his apartment. Unbelievable. That's fantastic. What a great story, actually. That and Collins might be the comment of the show. Andy Kelly, hello. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining the show today. Bill in Wisconsin, his best QSO so far was your Victor. He got a Victor Kilo 9. This is kind of big because if you look at Australia, right? Victor Kilo 9 is Norfolk Island. It's south of Australia. It's a really unique place. He got Victor Kilo 9 Delta X-ray. It was on sideband using 40 meters, answered his CQ call, and we had a nice QSO. That's a nice call, Bill. Thanks for adding that to the show. Man, that's great. Here is a really cool, this guy is awesome. This is Kevin in Iowa. He has a wonderful YouTube channel. He experiments with all kinds of things, his antennas, to see if they work. He's entertaining. He's authentic. He's a nice man. Kevin, Happy New Year. Welcome back. Good to see you, Kev. Welcome. Good to see you, man. Best to your family, too. What a good group of guys today. I'm grateful to be here. Ariel Rod, good evening to you. Thanks for being here. Don Bush is here as well. Donald, thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to see you. He's about antennas, and he should be. He's a QRP guy. And what Don does is really kind of cool. His call sign is Whiskey Alpha 2 Tango Papa Uniform. What he does is he makes sure he has a great antenna, and he loves to see how low he can transmit to people around the world. Don, you do it right. He's also, by the way, a true QRP green station. Yep, solar powered or wind powered only. Don, good to see you. Now, in the state of Idaho. Wow. Good to have you part of the show today. Really is. Roger McKeon and Doug Molly, welcome. Good to see you guys. Kilo Juliet 7, Lima Lima X-ray Molly makes K9. Gosh darn it. Good to see you guys. Thanks for your help too. Man, that's great. Rob Q joins us all the way from Los Angeles, California. Hi, Rob. Thanks for coming. Nice to see you. Let's see. Mike says, Mom came back with me. Oh, that's good. She's going to be down here for about a month. Yay. You know what? That's a great thing. You know, we watch House. Okay. I know House isn't for everybody, right? But there was a part of that show where it's a really neat connection between Foreman and his mom, you know, and I think of that. I was thinking, man, she just loves him, you know, and she had Alzheimer's at that point, but she would remember him, then she wouldn't remember him. And what I like about Mike is what you're saying is this is a special time for you and your mom. Mike, as your friend across the states, as far as I am, make good memories. Take the time. Just take time with Mom. This is a special time and a good time for her, too, to be out of the cold weather. That's for sure. And Roger, thank you. Happy New Year to you and Molly as well. Think a lot about you. RK, here we are. Welcome. My name's Larry. Welcome to the show. It's nice to meet you. Thank you. RK says, I got my worked all states in DXCC done this week. Let's do it right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is really good. RK got his worked all states plus his DXCC done in 1 week. No, wait, it took him only 10 years. Let's give him big applause. That's fantastic, man. Congratulations for you. I mean, that's awesome. See, that's the things you can do in amateur radio. It may take a while, but it's worth something. That's awesome, man. Congratulations to you. That is so cool. What a neat story. Scott from Colorado joins. Hi, Scott. Kilo Fox Zero Lima Sierra X-ray. Colin says in Australia, he says, another great thing for receiving are marine AIS receivers. Ships only their position with 12.5 watts around 162 megahertz. I have picked up ships out to 600 miles. You can get receivers free from marine traffic. That's very interesting. Thank you, Colin. You know, the Australians are so good with ships, with sailing ships, right? With communicating and helping them. Remember Jeannie Socrates? Victor, I can't remember. I know she's Canada. She's out of BC, but she does a lot of solo sailing around the world trips where she takes her Icom amateur radio, right? And the people in Australia really helped her out on one of her around the world trips because her ship was really a mess. So they helped her rebuild it so she can get all the way from Australia all the way up to British Columbia safely. She said the Aussies were really good to her. And I can't imagine a better place than Australia. Seriously, Colin, no kidding. You guys care about people and you take care of them. That's good stuff, man. It really is. Martin Davies, welcome. Good to see you, mate. Happy New Year to you, buddy. Just turned in 22.33. You're looking good. Hope you are well over there. Either way, Happy New Year from Wales, Europe. Your friend Martin, Mike Whiskey Zero, Charlie November Delta, Swansea City, Wales. Good to see you, Martin. Happy New Year to you too, man. Thank you. This is awesome, man. Ham radio station Golf Zero, Delta Tango X-Ray. John, it's nice to meet you. My name's Larry Dio. It's an honor to have you join us on Ham Radio Live. Happy Thursday evening to you there in UK. Man, what a treat. That's a neat thing. Thank you for coming. I sincerely mean that. Dan Ridge, welcome. He says he's at work. Kilo Juliet 7, Quebec Bravo Yankee. Don't let the boss know. We'll let you just be on with the show.
On with the show, this is it.
Yeah. Hi, Dan. I think I need to just keep this cap off it. I can make a drink quicker that way. Dan, it's nice to see you. Thanks for coming to the show. I appreciate it. The question for the show today is really about you. The show's about you. What are some of the best QSOs or maybe contact you made amateur radio or possibly DX and shortwave that you've done? Let us know about it and we'll make it a part of the show. Do you know the solar forecast for this weekend looks really, really good? I mean, really, really good. Take a look at the SFI. This is to tell when things are good. People either are spoiled or they're, just not, don't see enough of this. But conditions, when it says marginal, right? 100, 200, actually 150 is pretty dang good because we don't rarely ever get to 300. Okay, just doesn't happen historically that often. So 150 plus is good for solar flux, right? Your K index, your KP index, that's your noise floors, staying below KP2 for 3 days or so is excellent because that means the ionosphere is very stable. It's got lots of electrons in it. So when your signal hits it, it vibrates really well and refracts it back down. KP2 or less for just a few days, and an SFI about 150 or more, you're doing well. Okay, here's the current magnetometer view of the sun. Look at all the sunspots here. You can tell we're getting close to the max of solar cycle 25. We're not there yet. We're going to have a lot of YouTube people who are going to be watching this. And these people are all good. I'm not going to say anything bad about anybody on YouTube because, this is hard to do, and I admire anyone who does this. But we're not yet maxed. We haven't hit the max of solar cycle 25. We're currently at 186. It's up 10 for SFI from yesterday. Area number is up pretty good, 140, so it's up to 1,200. That's a good number. Look at the smooth sunspot number. It's at 183. It was never supposed to hit 183 when they forecasted solar cycle 25. And look at the 3-day geomagnetic forecast. 2 to 3 on today, then tomorrow, KP2, maybe on Saturday, KP2 or 3, okay? Take a look at this. These are low numbers for the last 3 days. And the solar flare detection number now is kind of getting up there where the baseline's getting close to an M as an average. That's huge. Look at the global D-layer absorption on the far left, okay, of the graph. You can see that area right there over the ocean where the sun is directly overhead. That's right now over 20 megahertz. That's D-layer absorption because there's so much activity right now coming from the sun. Now, look at the MUF map. This is the current maximum usable frequency map. 10 meters is as far north as 60 degrees north. That's most of the northern hemisphere. So, excellent conditions. But look at the south, all right? This is similar to what happens to us in the summertime here in the northern hemisphere. The southern hemisphere in the summer tends to have 10 meters start to go north, okay? This is kind of that same phenomenon. So 10 meters now is kind of right in the middle there of Argentina and Chile, and then it goes to the 12-meter band, then 15 meters is just off the southern tip of South America. The folks in Australia, you'll get 10 meters for sure, no question, but those numbers, they're going up now in the southern hemisphere, and they're staying pretty far north here in the northern hemisphere. So with good solar conditions, look at this is the current solar cycle 25 progression from SolarHam, and this is from last month. So it's updated as of December 2023. The numbers, let me give you a couple of statistics that are really big here. First, on the on the SFI, the predicted SFI would be 120.4. The actual one's over 20% higher already at 159.3. That's the lower graph. If you take a look at it, you start to see the blue arc starting to form there. See that? That's where the actual average is. See how much bigger it is? It's way higher than where this was projected to be maximized at. Then if you look above, then you'll see the smooth sunspot number. This is kind of taking a look here at the sunspots on the sun. That's what that means, okay? So the smooth sunspot number, they predicted would be 93.2, all right? That was a predicted SSN. That was back before solar cycle 25 started, right? The actual for the month of December was 114.2. That's also over 20% ahead. So these numbers are well over what they projected. And when we have a good SFI like we do right now, which is very, very solid, a solid SFI for a few days and some really good low noise floors together bring you an amazing forecast when the MUFs allow you to make great calls. Here is your forecast, powered by Icom. Icom, for the love of ham radio. SFIs continue to climb this weekend. We've got some good sunspots coming from the west limb of the sun, low noise floors. This is going to make excellent DX this weekend. This could be one of the best weekends for DX of the decade. Seriously, it hasn't been this good since 2020 started, and it hasn't been this good possibly as far back as 2014, 2013. So 10 meters is open as far as 60 degrees north. 10 meters is not quite as far south now as the southern tip of Australia, but the southern tip of South America, but you'll work most of Australia on 10. Voice bands, northern hemisphere daytime and in the south, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 for most of both hemispheres. Nighttime amateur radio, SFIs continue to rise again. You'll find those noise floors can be really quiet. You'll have some good conditions to make some really good calls on sideband. Remember, FT8 is there for low, for high noise environments. It was invented, when the crummy cycle 24 was at stake. That's when it was all invented, because they wanted to have something of communication between two areas on Earth, even though it was below the noise, right? So with low sunspot numbers, FT8 still does great, right? But look at this for nighttime. Great conditions on 160, 80, 60, 40, 30. Remember, your best DX is maximum usable frequency at sunset. That's gray line. You'll make great calls there. Just monitor where your best frequencies are in your part of the world when the sun starts going down. For shortwave listeners, SFIs, this is brilliant. You're going to get some good DX on shortwave this weekend. Low noise floors, good SFIs. This might be the best weekend in a decade for DXing shortwave. Shortwave daytime bands, 31, 25, 22, 19, 15, and 13. Nighttime shortwave junkies like myself, no joke, SFI strong, low noise floors make some rare DX open. Now, the normal bands of 120, 90, 75, 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, 22 are going to be fine. 19 meters after dark. It's going to be open in the south for about 3 hours after sunset. Northern hemisphere about an hour after sunset. Top DX bands nighttime shortwave, definitely 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, and the 19-meter band. Listen after dark. You're going to find some amazing things if you're a shortwave DXer. Some amazing things. Speaking of shortwave DXing, what's one of the best receptions you've made on shortwave, or what's some of the best, maybe one of the best calls you ever made in amateur radio? Let me know in the comment section, and we'll make it part of today's show. Let's go all the way to Bulgaria. Tom is here from Bulgaria, and Tom has shared with me a neat video that he said I can use. So great, I'm going to just do it, and that'll be fun. This is unfortunately what happened when Tom got home from Bahrain to his house in Bulgaria after winter had started just about a couple of weeks ago.
Winter storm we had a couple of weeks ago. Looks like it did a number on my antenna. I just got to the house this afternoon. One of the poles that suspend everything is broken, and it's separated, but it also broke at the very top. You can see what's going on. Now, interesting enough, the last few weeks, or 2 weeks anyway, I've been making contacts all over Europe with this antenna in the condition that it's in. Oh well, there you go. I'm not sure if the video does it justice, but you can see it's broken.
So I made sure a couple of nights ago to drop the hex beam because I'm a little nervous with it being, the ice storm coming. And I'll probably pull it off of its mast and, find a way to get in my garage where I can just keep it safe. It's just too expensive to replace those things, and winter weather can destroy antennas. So be careful. If you've got a vertical out there, a dipole isn't as bad. It's not as expensive to lose a dipole, but maybe you have a nice vertical antenna, something like that. Maybe set it down. If you've got some ice coming especially. Snow isn't nearly as bad as ice. Ice just cripples things like antennas. They can deform it, snap it, destroy it. So just please be careful with your antenna if you're into some bad weather, all right? I want to say thank you to a couple of dear friends. This is Tim, Golf 5 Tango Mike. He's one of the most knowledgeable people about amateur radio that there is on YouTube. Please follow him on YouTube. Tim, Happy New Year. It's an honor to have you join the show. Thank you for being here, my friend. That's really an honor for me. Thank you, Tim. Everybody in the UK knows Tim. Yep, they do. Leo Gustafson, welcome from Albany, Oregon. Kilo 7 Charlie Lima Yankee visiting. Hello, Gus, my neighbor. I'm in Independence, Oregon. Took my license test in Albany. It's nice to have you, Leo. Thanks for joining the show. My name's Larry. Welcome. My neighbor. He's just down the road from me. Wouldn't be too hard to go see him. Yep. And yeah, that smooth sunspot number is really, really good. Steve says, good SFI and KP. If Saturday could also be further north of 0 degrees Celsius as well, so I could get out portable, that would be great. True. And Leo, I'm sorry you're sick. I hope you feel better. I truly do. Look at this. This is Mohammed. Mohammed is one of the nicest people. I mean, he really is. Mohammed's one of those people that he comes here, and every time he comes here, he honors me. He really does. Mohammed is all the way in Sarawak in East Malaysia. And if you look, let me show you something real quick. Let me just kind of zoom over. I'll try and get you a reasonable picture of this so you can just see what he's accomplished. And look at how young he is, too. This is really cool. Let me just try to show you if I can get to my computer go faster. There we go. Okay. Look at, this is Mohammed right here. Nice, good young kid. And look what all he's done. Look at this. Mohammed, it is such an honor to see you. Happy New Year, and thank you for joining the show. It's nice to see you. Thanks, buddy. Well, always a pleasure, Mohammed. I hope you and your family are well. I mean that very, very much. Andy New, Mike 7, Charlie Union November. Good to see you all the way from Bristol. Thanks for coming tonight, my friend. It is an honor to have you guys today. I mean that very much. Leo says, I better get back on the air. When I'm feeling better. Icom 7300 paired with an excellent hex beam. That too will work you very well. Good job, Leo. You don't need to put the money into some big expensive radio. You don't need it. Put your money into a good antenna, and then even the cheapest radio sounds like heaven. Gosh, it sure does. Man, right on, Leo. Thank you, man. Call in the UK, 10 meters, been excellent from VK5 to Europe every night lately on FT8. Most mornings to USA are okay as well, like it is right now. Yep, great time. If you've got a VK5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 9s, perfect time to contact them. It's open. It's open. This is so good. Oh, Leo, you just got your general ticket last year. Congratulations, man. That's cool. Like that. That's pretty neat. Man, let's see. We got everybody. Oh, poor Tom. See, everybody loves you, Tom, because you see the old cobweb antenna is just a little sad there. Leo says, luckily, ice storms in the Wimbledon Valley are very unusual, and that's true. The last one snapped my AV680 vertical. That was only like about a $650 antenna. Oh my gosh. Wasn't the antenna's fault. It just was too much ice. I kept hitting it, to try and shake the ice. I could not make it stop. I couldn't keep the pileup off it. It's just awful. Sean, in the UK, I'm lucky enough to live near Tim. He's a great guy and a good friend. I agree with you 100%, Sean. He's really good. And if you haven't got to his YouTube channel, Golf 5 Tango Mike, one of the most knowledgeable and kind people there is on YouTube. Bill Myers in Wisconsin, ice storm followed by 16 inches of heavy, wet snow. Broke his hex beam last winter. But here's the thing. He says, fortunately, it wasn't too difficult or expensive to repair. Bill's hex beam, okay, so like the normal tower or vertical, the base, the mast is like this, right? So he holds the hex beam up. Hex beam is up top, right? So like this. All right. So his hex beam was like this. It was kind of like hanging like this way, right? And he's making calls like to Australia and Hawaii and all over North America. It just kept working. It was amazing. That's what Bill's did, even with it broken. It's a true story. Yeah. Dan Ridge, my favorite ham contact was just recently. I had just moved out of an apartment, put up a 20-meter dipole for the first time ever. Got a POTA activator in South Dakota from Washington State. Well done. That's nice. You know, when you put up like just a resonant wire antenna, doesn't have to be expensive. Just take some wire, cut it to length, put it up, and watch it work. It's the coolest feeling ever if you're building yourself. It's really good. Dan, thank you for joining that. And by the way, he says also his son was there, and now he wants to get licensed. He's 13. That is music to my ears, sir. Well done. That's a good example. I see. That's one of the things. By the way, I plan to be a short show, but I can't stop talking. I'm excited to see you guys. The UK consultation, the Ofcom consultation, the most key part to that consultation, a lot of people would say it's the power limit increase, right? Full licensees go from 400 to 1,000 watts. The intermediates can go up to 100, and the foundations can go up to 25. That's great. But what I think the most important part of that Ofcom consultation is that they're letting non-licensed people work in amateur radio under the supervision of a licensee. That should go through. I hope it does, because the RSGB is excellent at assimilating new members. And man, you want to get somebody in love with amateur radio, put them in front of one, let them operate it under your supervision, and they're going to do a dynamite job and fall in love with it. Dan, that's a great comment, and it's true. Thank you very much for your comment. Let's see, Duke in Ontario, the last time we here in VE3 had an ice storm that did do a number on people's ham working out conditions. I bet Christmas 2022, and it was brutal. Yeah, ice just is brutal for storms. For like antennas. They just, it'll break your antenna quickly. Tom in Bulgaria, I was using the antenna remote, was surprised when I arrived, but sorted out the next day, added new support from above. Big applause. Yep. Tom's got he's got a brand new Flex radio. He's got the 6400 and he's got the Maestro, and he's worked out a way that he can get it from Bulgaria, working in, his antenna's from Bulgaria. He works from Bahrain with hardly any latency. How he's doing this, I don't know, but he is a true genius, that's for sure. No kidding. Guy designs flight simulators. He's an absolute smart dude. Scruffy from Australia's big applause. Man, good day, mate. Good to see you. Victor Kilo 5 sugar-coated radio is his call sign. Nice to see you, Scruff. Wow. Happy New Year. Good day to you, mate. Gosh darn. I love the Australians. They're my favorites. Those are the people I wanted to call. And if you haven't heard the story, I'll make it really quick. It'll be one of the fast Larry moments, okay?
And now, a Larry moment.
So there was a night that I was working the radio, and I remember it to this day. It was a 7300. I had a dipole up on my roof. I don't think my neighbors liked it, but I did. It worked well. And then all of a sudden, I got a Victor Kilo 3. And I was like, oh, Victor Kilo 3. And I start making calls, trying to get it, please to take my call. Because I was speechless. I was like, oh gosh, he's in Australia. First time.
Hey, boy, come here, quick.
Really excited. So he answered back. I screamed. And my wife comes running out of the bedroom at 3 a.m. She's like, what the heck is going on here? I just got Australia, Karen. I'm so happy. That was one of my goals. I was so happy. Oh, geez. And Great Britain is the same for me, really is. I've worked Great Britain now, and it just is exciting to me when it happens. Every single time I get like a Golf Zero or maybe a Mic 1 or whatever, I'm so happy every time because it means something to me. It's just really, really cool. Leo, he's an over the road driver. Wow, that's just like a member Indian Australia, same kind of thing. He says being an over the road driver for many years, driving over the Santiam, that's the pass here that's near me in Oregon here with him too. I certainly encountered ice storms. They can hit, and when they hit here, they cause major damage. And the roads are just, you don't go out because they don't salt the roads. You put gravel on top of ice, you still have a slippery surface. Ice just doesn't help very much at all. Let me share something with you I'm really excited to do. We had a question on the last show, and I felt so moronic because I didn't know the answer to it. There was a question asked, okay, how much power can you use on the 2-meter band, right? The U.S. band plan is right here from ARRL, and it's really very good. It talks about 2 meters and 1.25, of course, 70 sems, 22 cents. But you know what's interesting is there's an entire set of super high frequency bands that are kind of in footnotes at the very bottom of this thing. No kidding. Isn't that something? So anyway, if you take a look at this, it talks about the maximum power for each band, and it really does give an awful lot of an idea to the way the U.S. structure is here, right? Different than the UK gives more HF frequencies for foundation licenses, right? Here in the States, you can get on HF as a beginner, like a person that, for example, that technician that just gets his license, he can get on HF 10 meters right now. And on the time of his life, between 28.3 and 28.5 megahertz, make calls all over the world and just love HF. But then once the solar cycle starts to wane, 10 meters goes down too. And all of a sudden, 17 or maybe 15 is your maximum usable frequency. It really is important to try and license up because right now, if you're a tech, try and get on 10 meters HF. Get the bug. Start to make calls to other countries, and you're going to love it. And that general and that amateur extra license is passable. It's totally passable. So just please take your time and you can do it. You really can. And as you can see here, see if I can get a little bigger. I don't think it'll go bigger here. Yeah. Anyway, no, you can see what the power limits are here. It talks at the bottom here. It talks about power limits, and it says at the top, it says on like 2,200 meters, 1 watt EIRP. If we go on 630, we get 5. That's cool. Then from 160, and you go all the way into 1.25 meters, it's kind of the same. So you can go up to 1,500 watts. Kind of nice. Not that the whole lot of radios do that, but there you go. And then again, the footnotes for the gigahertz band. See them down the bottom far right below 23 sems. There are people who love to make calls on those. Fantastic.
They don't write the old songs anymore.
Yep. They only write new ones.
Yeah, there you go. The angry hams jumped in. That was nice. I have 2 trivia questions for you. Hope you enjoy them. Right now, North America is in the lead for January. I got to remember. I am right in 24, so that's good. First question. At one time, the Federal Communications Commission limited, I got this wrong, by the way, the number of HF amplifiers an amateur operator could build in 1 year. What was that number? Was it A3, B, none, C, 1, or D, there were no limits as long as the power was at or below legal limit? I'll tell you I got this wrong. A, B, C, or D. First one with the right answer will give you a cha-ching and some applause. Good luck. This is so cool. Let's see. Golf Zero, Foxtrot, Victor, Tango. Hi, Larry. A subtle difference in the UK is that power limit is defined as the feed at the feed point, not at the shack. It's true. Yep, it's true. So with a little feeder loss and new limit, we could readily be running 1,500 plus the shack. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if you've got stacked verticals or you've got something that, got a really nice, tri-bender, piece of cake. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. And this antenna thing, the UK thing, I love the consultation. I love they're making the changes. I hope they make them quick. And I really hope that the young people get that chance to sit beside somebody who has a license, right? And they can learn from them. That is such a big deal, because having that first call, if I had that chance, I could have gotten my license so much sooner, because I thought it was just too hard. That's the truth. That's why I tell people, don't give up on this stuff. Don't do it. It's not worth it. David, that's a nice comment. Thanks for joining the show again. Good to have you. All right, we got lots of people answering this question, and I've got to figure out. Okay. Scruffy first in with C1. Let's check it. Nope, not it. See, I answered that. That's why I showed it. I answered it too, because I thought that makes sense. 1. Nope, there's no limits as long as the power was at or below legal limit. Andy New in Bristol was the first one to get it right. That's awesome, man. Dude from Britain gets it, and we can't here. All right. Well, anyway, first Australia came in. Then look at this. It's Bristol. Then we've got the UK, and then we've got Bulgaria. Bahrain or Bulgaria. Sorry, Tom. Bulgaria. Leo's the first guy from the States that got in. That's great. Yeah, true. There was no limit. Anyway, it sounds like a weird question. Vinyl got D. Bill got it right. And Leo says, oh, build. That's true. All right. So the world is now ahead by 5 points. Here's your second question. This will be worth 10, right? What is a mill in ham radio slang? A mill. Okay. Is it A, a type of telegraph key? Is it B, a machine for grinding quartz crystals? Is it C, a type of motor generator set? Or is it D, a typewriter? A, B, C, or D will give you a cha-ching, and this time big applause. All right. The world by 5. Yeah, there you go. Well, that's okay. North America has a chance. Looking for a mill. Oh my gosh, look at this. Aaron Lutz joined us. Oh, Aaron, it's great to see you. Victor Echo 5 Lima Golf. Aaron is a dear friend. He really is. He and Jen both. Aaron, it's really nice to have you. Thank you for coming. My goodness, what a great joy. This really means a lot. Thanks for coming. It means, I mean that very sincerely. He says it was to stop hams making amplifiers for CB use. Dave, that's great. Lionel first up. He says B, his call sign Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Foxtrot Hotel, a machine for grinding quartz crystals. Sounds plausible, right? Not it. Nope. Andy New from Bristol. Mike 7 Charlie November has D. It is D. You got it right. My gosh. The world's ahead by 15 now. Oh my gosh, that's great. Andy, good job. Aaron gets B on this one from Saskatchewan. And Bill had A, and Dale had B, and Tom had B, and all of you guys around the world did quite well. That's great. You know, we talked about today some fun stuff, and I'm grateful for you all joining the show. Your best call. I remember, for me, when I first heard Radio Free Europe, okay, and I get it. Maybe people don't understand. But I liked Radio Free Europe. I also liked Radio Moscow. I did, because I liked the Moscow Mailbag show. I liked that show. I thought he did a great job with it. And I remember first hearing all of this and saying, wow, there are other stations I didn't know about. And I would spend hours. My mom would come up to my bedroom and say, okay, stop, turn the radio off. It's time for bed 2 hours ago. And I would just sit there with a little realistic DX 440 or 400. Anyway, I would just sit there and listen and then tune to another one when they go off the air. Shortwave was wonderful in the 70s. It was just magical. I think that was my favorite, really was. That was a time that really brought me into radio and made me just love it. Absolutely love it. Leo, on the last trivia question, I was thinking C, but this is beyond my scope. It's true. Tom says, Andy always gets it right. Do you trade stocks? If so, I will follow your choices. Oh, by the way, we have a fun close today. I thought, let's do something kind of fun. We'll make a fun reason to close the show. So we're going to show a couple of commercials at the end of the show, and then finally a sign off from where we're going that I thank you. Look, I want to stop the show just a moment and say thank you. What you did to help me to be able to make this trip possible for my brother was a miracle. There's no lie. When Rodney first told me about the GoFundMe page in late October, I said, nope, it's Christmas time. People have to save money. It'll never work. He says, oh, wait. Your kindness and generosity, thank you. I mean that sincerely. When my brother sets his 2 feet on that Arizona memorial, that video will be on Facebook. Okay. And again, let me do this before because I've never really shown the Facebook page I think I hardly ever have. Join with me on Facebook at Ham Radio. That's one word, Ham Radio, then space live. Okay. So Ham Radio, one word, space live on Facebook, and follow us in Hawaii. I'll make sure and join you and make sure that all of you are up to date on all of that. I have it done this way through Facebook because my family can watch it then and they can see him accomplishing these things that he really wants to do. All right. My name's Larry Dio. My call sign in amateur radio is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Hold on. Wait. Dale with it. This is a good memory. If you remember Radio Moscow. Who remembers P.O. Box 88, Moscow? Yeah. That way you could get a hold of, was it Leo? I should know this. But he did a great job, Moscow Mailbag. Russia was the greatest place on earth. The United States was always backwards. That's the way it was. But it wasn't bad. He didn't put people down. He got invited to the United States later in life, and he was treated with kindness and love. And he came back and he said, I have a new respect for the Americans. I never knew it was like that there. You know, we may disagree politically. We may disagree psychologically. We may disagree socially, whatever. But we can agree that we can be friends, right? That's it. We can agree to be friends. That's the magic of amateur radio. True. I mean that very, very much. And David, thank you for that comment. Before we go to, real quick, Tom in Bulgaria, sadly, I never heard Radio Free Europe. It was beautiful. It was, oh, this is great, man. The Happy Station show. This was neat. This was on Radio Netherlands. And he used to listen to it on a Zenith Transoceanic out of Hilversum, Holland back in the 70s. This, gosh, I wish I could take you back and just let you hear what shortwave used to sound like. The Happy Station was such a wonderful program to sit back and listen to. That's what made it so special. Just a wonderful time in radio. Let's see. Aaron says, Jen and I are glad to hear your trip is a go. Many blessings to you, Karen, Bob, especially. Man, we were this close to maybe not go. We were worried they were going to cancel our flight because we have a major winter storm coming in and it just passing to the south. That's a good thing. Kjell joins us in Norway. Hi, Kjell. Lima Bravo Zero Yankee India. Happy day to you, my friend. Thank you for coming. Dale says you can send QSL cards via that request. Oh, that's right. You can get your QSL card. You send it to Box 88 Moscow. That's right. That's right. Andy New jumps in on the topic question of the show. My best call was my first call after I was licensed. My best shortwave was Radio New Zealand. Oh, they were precious. Love Radio New Zealand. For a commercial station, I heard the hams back in the world. Sorry, I heard hams the world over back in the day. They were great solar cycles. They were. And we've got a good one now. So now's a good time to license up everybody. It really is. Tom, thank you. He says, safe journey, Larry. I hope Bob really gets to experience what he most wants to see and do. He will. He will. And we'll have the video of it on Facebook. Please join us. Andy New with the last comment from Bristol. Happy Station was great. Happy Station was a gem. I wish WRMI or maybe BBC, someone would rebroadcast the Happy Station stuff because that was shortwave gold. My name's Larry Deal. My call sign, Amateur Radio's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Guys, I'd stay here for hours if I could, but I got to get packed. Thank you for what you've done to help my family. This is a family on this channel, and I am so grateful for all of you. whether you comment or you come by to listen or you make a lot of comments. Thank you for being here. Until we meet again, God bless you. Aloha, everybody.
What's that?
That's a swear jar. Every time someone swears, you put a quarter in it.
Who gets the money?
I don't know. We'll use it to buy something for the office, like a case of Bud Light or something.
Fucking awesome. You, Bob.
You, Jim.
Eric, I have a bag on line 3 for you.
Can I borrow your pen? Can I borrow your f***ing pen?
Will the owner of a white station wagon please go f yourself?
We're gonna go down there and we're gonna f some ass. We're gonna f some. We're gonna do whatever we have to because we're gonna s some.
Poop.
Doesn't count.
Shut the up!
I am so proud of you mother suckers. Here, here.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
What's this stuff? Some cereal. It's supposed to be good for you. Did you try it? I'm not gonna try it. You try it. I'm not gonna try it. Let's get Mikey. Yeah. He won't eat it. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
When you bring life home, don't tell the kids it's one of those nutritional cereals you've been trying to get them to eat. You're the only one who has to know.
TV2 has come to the end of another day of service to the people of Hawaii. In Honolulu, you've been watching KHON TV Channel 2, television STL station WCX 539, and TV intercity relay stations WDT 811, WGW 978, WFW 595, and WFW 591. Maui is being served by KAII TV Channel 7 Wailuku. On Hawaii, KHRW TV Channel 11 Hilo, and TV Intercity Relay Station KUT 66 Mauna Loa. And serving the island of Kauai is K55DZ Lihue.
Now, you know, when we were young, we'd wait for this to go off the air the whole time, wouldn't we? We'd just sit and wait. And we'd wait, and we'd wait. Until finally they pulled the plug. And it was all over with, right? God bless you. Goodbye, everybody, wherever you may be.